Hello and welcome to The One Show with Alex Jones.
And Matt Baker. Now, tonight's guest celebrated her birthday yesterday, and one of her presents was this book. But who could it be, we wonder?
Let's have a few more clues, shall we? The book was written 16 years before she was born and 43 years before she started to work in television.
She's everyone's favourite and the face of the BBC's Winter Olympics coverage. You've got it, surely. It is, of course, Claire Balding. And a belated happy birthday.
I know it was my birthday yesterday. I may mention that many, many times. I love my birthday.
Yeah.
And therefore, I had all my schoolmates and my university friends round for drinks last night, and to celebrate the very important landmark of 43.
Well, there we are.
So I don't need a special birthday to have a party. I just love my birthday.
Yeah, who bought you that book then?
Oh, Zeb Soanes, who's an announcer on Radio 4, and he found it in an antique bookshop. And he thought, and it's part of a series that was written in the 1950s about different careers for girls, and so it does all this introduction thing saying for girls looking for a different career, and this one's all about this girl Claire who goes to work by chance actually goes to work in television.
And a similar story to yours, because when you left university you didn't want to do this, did you?
No, I didn't, Matt, and now I'm so excited. I didn't really know I wanted to be a writer actually, yeah, in that kind of dreamy way.
Similar-ish.
Yes, sort of.
Ish.
Yes.
That's happened. You've done a few books. We know that. Good.
Well, we will be quizzing you all about the Winter Olympics very shortly.
I love a quiz.
Yes.
Yeah.
Great.
There's one on the way.
Can it be a special birthday quiz?
Oh, it can.
Oh, it is?
We can throw some more
We've called
questions
it
in
Claire's
there.
birthday quiz.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Happy.
Now, although there is a shortage of new homes being built in the UK, there's rarely a shortage of objections to the plans when they're submitted.
Lucy Siegel has been to a Leicestershire village to find out how its residents, when it came to a local planning issue, were given the chance to contribute rather than complain. Much to Lucy and good luck to the residents of Broughton Astley with the village development.
Well, Joe is here now to give us a bit more of an insight into recent planning news. So when will the next village referendum be, Joe?
Well, in England, it's going to be 20th of March, so that's 7 weeks today, and it's going to be in Sprowston, just on the edge of Norwich in Norfolk, and that will be a neighbourhood planning referendum.
OK, and in that case, I mean, 38% as a turnout. I mean, it's not as bad as it sounds, is it?
No, it's not, actually. I mean, in this country, we tend to turn out for our general elections. It's
Yeah.
60% plus, used to be 70% plus. Local elections, not so much when they're, not in general election years, normally about 35% average. So 38 is pretty good. It shows people want to have a say, I think, yeah.
Yeah, and we're always hearing, aren't we, how much we desperately need new housing. But how much is desperately needed? I mean,
people are sick of hearing it, aren't they? But we do really badly need new houses. I mean, the bottom line is the population is growing. We have an ageing population, which means, right now there are 10 million people over the age of 65. But in 30 years' time, that will have doubled. There'll be 20 million people over the age of 65. They've all got to live somewhere, right?
Yes.
And then we've also got immigration. We've got more people coming into the country than leaving the country, so we've got net immigration. So the population's growing, and we simply don't have enough houses. We are building at a rate of about 100,000 new houses a year. That just isn't enough, and it's so far off the pace that we now need to build 240,000 a year for the next 20 years to catch up. So nearly 250,000 a year.
Quite a jump, isn't it?
Where do they all go? And of course, while we're not building in time, the cost of houses goes up. So people are really feeling the pinch. Lots of older people having to go into house shares, flat shares, that kind of thing.
Well, earlier this week, David Cameron said, didn't he, that he was going to cut red tape to make it easier to build new houses, but that in itself comes with real complications.
Yeah, it does. I mean, there are over 100 sort of rules and regulations for new homes.
Yeah.
David Cameron wants to cut that to about 10. So things like minimum window sizes, room dimensions, strength of front doors, a lot of that's going to go. Now, the plus side is developers will save about 60 million quid, they reckon, which hopefully is passed on to people who are looking to buy these new homes. The downside,
quality.
Quality, exactly. You do wonder, don't you? And, we already have the smallest average size of new home in Europe. We've got a graphic, actually. If we look at new homes throughout the world and the sizes of them, in the UK, it's about 818 square foot. OK. Now, if you look at Ireland, 15% bigger. Netherlands, it's quite a small country, 53% bigger. And you go to Australia or the USA,
and they're huge.
Absolutely huge. Yeah, massive difference.
And last night, Eric Pickles was saying that he wanted every new home to have space for bins. Well, he can forget that.
Well, definitely
no space to swing a cat.
My goodness me. There we are. Anyway, Joe, thanks ever so much
Cheers.
Indeed. Now, from James, you
Yeah, I
met through
do. I know
Trooping
James
the
quite well,
Colour
yes.
But, yeah, I mean, you know firsthand, don't you, how difficult it can be for older members of the family. You know,
I don't think it's a generational thing, actually. I mean, Alice's parents, her father died just before Christmas, and he was 92, nearly 93, and he couldn't have been more supportive and accepting. And her mother, who's, you know, just an absolute live wire and is brilliant, you know, is in her mid-80s. And I don't think it is an age thing, actually. I think it's sometimes it's an imbued sense of shame that this is something that parents can sometimes feel very embarrassed on behalf of their children because they feel ashamed. Now, the great thing about not feeling shame is you have the freedom to really enjoy love as love should be enjoyed. And that is with all your friends, with all your family, you know, being able to talk about it at work or not if you don't want to, because some people don't like talking about, you know, whatever relationship they're in.
And as a society, generally speaking, we've come a pretty long way in accepting same-sex relationships. Well, when you compare it to the 50s, when people were being put in jail for being gay.
Well, even 10 years ago, and James said it there, 10 years ago, it was still illegal to be gay in the armed forces.
In the army.
And 10 years ago, that we still had very stringent restrictions on what teachers could say in schools. And I think there's still a hangover of that some teachers feel that they have to hide their sexuality.
Yeah.
But do you think we've come far enough then, Claire?
Well, I mean, equal marriage is a very exciting development, and that'll come in very soon in March. And that, again, that's just affirmation of couples being able to be the same as everybody else. And that's, I think, wonderful and joyful. And, gosh, there are going to be some good parties.
Oh, amazing weddings.
Well, I mean, there's been real controversy, hasn't there, over recent Russian laws, which you see has been widely anti-gay. I mean, was there ever a point when you thought to yourself, you know, I'm not going to go?
Well, to be honest, it would be an awful lot easier to stay at home. And you know, I'm in a very lucky position. I'm not short of work at the moment, so I wouldn't have been idle. But I think it's terribly important. I believe in equality and I believe in freedom. And I therefore believe in the right for people to do the job that they do without fear of prejudice, without fear of recrimination on any basis, whether that's race, religion, gender or sexuality. So for me to go to Russia, a country that doesn't yet believe that and hasn't got there yet, my statement is, here am I, one of the 3 main presenters for the BBC on the Winter Olympics, and I am out, and I'm proud, and I'm happy, and I'm doing my job.
Yeah.
And I think that's a stronger statement to make, for me personally, than to stay here. Because, frankly, if I stayed here, no one in Russia's going to notice.
No, but
you know,
going,
I mean,
it's a protest in itself,
exactly.
isn't it?
And I think President Obama and his delegation, you know, picking very high-profile out gay former athletes like Billie Jean King, that's him trying to make the same sort of statement, to say, do you know what, the way we can change the world, and there are lots of ways, and boycotts have worked effectively in some situations, but you all need to be doing it. It's not just about one individual, and certainly not about the one gay presenter not going, because that seems to me to be, you know...
So when are you going?
I go on Sunday, and I haven't packed yet.
You're kidding.
No, I haven't.
You're going to have to take some suitcase. Well, actually, the weather's not too bad.
No, it's the warmest Winter Olympic venue ever.
It's 11 degrees in Sochi today.
I mean, I am presenting late at night there. I'm presenting from 8 until midnight, so I imagine it'll be quite cold by then. You were giving me some tips on that.
Yeah, just various heat packs and all sorts.
Yeah, because I'm going to be outside, because you know how I like presenting outside.
It's like wish you were here.
Like the Summer Olympics, for goodness sake. But anyway, let's get some stats then. Let's talk a little bit about Team GB and how many athletes are going.
I'm very glad you've done that, because I think there is a danger of getting distracted by other issues. And not actually focusing on the sport. And, you know, I love winter sport, and these athletes have worked incredibly hard. And I think we've probably got our best chance of... Our record Winter Olympic medal haul was 1924 in Chamonix, which is 4 medals.
Oh,
and did you know, here's your nerdy fact for the day.
Go on,
did you know that Great Britain has never won a Winter Olympic medal on snow? All our medals have come on ice, whether it's been ice skating or curling or skeleton or 4-man bob or whatever.
Yeah.
2-man bob, actually.
Wow. And do you think we could get one on snow this time around?
Yeah, because there are these really brilliant new sports coming in, and it's sort of widely termed as slope style, but it's with skis and boards.
Yeah.
And we've got some really good young athletes who are very, very good at it. Katie Summerhayes is one, Billy Morgan, who competes on the first day, James Woods,
you know.
Yeah, and they do these amazing tricks. You know, they're way up in the sky. Look at this.
I know,
That's James,
yeah, gosh.
You know, it's going to look really cool, and they're good. You know, they've all got outside chances. Obviously, as you know, with the particular performance sports, it is very much down to the chance you get on the day, how you feel, how you hit your jumps.
Well, you never know with James Woods. This new. I'd definitely do that. If I was a young little gymnast on the snow, that would have been me all over the place.
Matthew.
That would have been
it's
me.
Not too late.
Oh, I tell you.
It's too late.
Yeah. Well, let's tell it. When can people see it? How can they see it?
The other thing, James and Katie, they didn't even learn on snow. They learned in an indoor ski village in Sheffield. which sadly is not there anymore.
I love that thing. They're known as fridge kids because
Yeah.
apparently all of our athletes train in fridges as opposed to actually in the
It's so lovely how excited you both are about that.
Well,
So you get, suddenly you get involved in a sport like curling. Think back to Salt Lake City when Rona Martin and that curling team won the gold medal. Nearly 6 million people stayed up until 11 o'clock at night. I was doing that show actually in the studio from London. Yeah, and we won the curling gold medal. And I always imagined everybody the next day going around with their Henry. And you get really involved in that. I love it.
The best thing for the Winter Olympics is that curling team. Are they Norway?
Oh, yes.
Oh,
I know.
can we get the picture now? Because we're talking about curling.
Have you seen their outfit?
Look at the
It
outfit.
looks like something out of the Eurovision Song Contest, but there it is.
There they are.
That's brilliant.
I am rooting for them based on outfit.
I just want to hear them sing. Anyway,
Very good.
yes, good.
And you can see it all, can't you, on tablets, on
Do
your
you
mobile,
know
and
what?
all the rest of it.
200 hours of coverage on BBC Two. BBC Two is the Winter Olympic channel. And ours highlights as well, which are from 7 till 8. That goes straight onto iPlayer. And across Red Button and online, do you know more hours than really you are awake? 650 hours of coverage. We are
me.
across it all.
You are going to go
All
through
there.
so many
Biggest,
highlighters.
just a quick one. 2 biggest gold medal chances would be Elise Christie in the short track speed skating and Lizzie Arnold in the skeleton.
All right,
I'd
then.
say.
There's the tip.
Brilliant. OK. So the BBC's tagline for the Winter Olympics is nature, who will conquer it? And our very own action man, Andy Torbett, has been trying to do just that in a disused quarry.
Yeah, well, the One Show has found something lurking in Wales which he's never ever climbed, can you believe? A sheer vertical rock face made of smooth, slippery slate. Wow.
Yeah, lovely view, but would you want to do that to get there? That's the question, isn't it?
Oh, yes. Well, I wouldn't mind, actually. I'm sure you
Well,
wouldn't,
yeah,
I'm
you're
sure you
like
would do.
Spider-Man, aren't
It
you?
looks a bit like Sochi itself, didn't it? And on that note, we are now going to quiz you, Claire, because we
Yes,
know...
we are.
This is my birthday quiz.
Well, this is... Yes, it should be, because we
It
know
is
that you
your
pride
birthday
yourself on your
quiz.
sporting knowledge.
Yes,
You've got
and
3
do you know,
days
and I was
before you
suddenly,
go in.
because I always doubled, and then I go to myself, oh, and I know I said that thing about on snow, and I'm suddenly thinking Alan Baxter, he won a bronze in slalom, but then he got taken away from him, so we have won a medal.
Got all the facts are there. They're all there. Well, listen, here is
Yes.
your belated birthday present, which
There
you
it
can
is.
open
No
if you
way.
get them right.
Can I?
So
Okay.
wait for now.
But look at this, Claire. We've also got a set of Russian dolls.
You're gonna
Claire,
love this.
You're going to love this. One is quite familiar, the first one.
Is that my chin?
That's
It is,
you.
isn't it?
And
It's your chin, it's your body, it's everything, it's you.
It's my body as well. Thanks, Matt.
I mean, like, you're wearing
You're
the
not
same
noticing
stuff.
something. So I was.
Yeah, no, you're looking great. You're looking great. but you're
when
wearing
you
blue.
answer a question, we
Okay.
will open it to reveal the next.
Come on, let's have the first
Yeah,
one.
come
Are we
on.
ready now?
Anyway,
Yes.
ready, Claire? All right. This year's Winter Olympics are said to have been the most expensive games ever. But how much are they estimated to have cost? Is it 31 billion, 41 billion, or 51 billion pounds?
They were meant to have cost 7.5 billion, and they've gone way over, but I don't think they've gone over by as much as 41 or 51. I think it's 31.
Oh,
Well,
let's check.
Let's open up your very slim and healthy-looking body. There we are.
Oh,
And
there
reveal...
he is.
Oh, there is Putin. There he is.
friend.
So, with the result of there you are, 31,000. Congratulations, Claire. Well done. On to the next question. Drug testing was introduced at the Winter Olympics in 1968, right? But which substance did the first Olympic athlete ever to be disqualified test positive for? Was it adrophenol? Was it alcohol? Or amphetamine?
What year again?
68.
Like that'll make a difference.
Yeah.
Probably, it was probably alcohol.
You had some last night.
Thanks,
Well,
Alex.
there's Dr. Sochi, and he's holding a pint of beer. It was alcohol! Oh, you're doing ever so well, Claire. You're doing ever so well.
All right, third question. A Welsh figure skater is set to make his Olympic debut at Sochi, but which country will he be representing? Is it Great Britain, France, or Norway?
Well, it's obviously not Great Britain, because this must be a more difficult question than that. I think I have...
We're going to have to hurry you, Claire. We're going to have to hurry you.
I think it's France.
Is it France? Let's have a look at the skates. It is France. There you go. It's Lloyd Jones. Congratulations, Claire.
Meant to be.
You can take as Lloyd Jones.
Oh, it is him.
There you go. That's it. We're
Yeah.
done.
You can
Thank
open
you
your
so
present.
much.
Oh,
Open your
it says
present and
all
get
over it
packing.
for yesterday.
Because that is all we've got time for tonight.
Yes.
Thanks, Claire. Good luck to Team TV in Sochi. Claire will be hosting the opening ceremony from 3:30 on Top Friday the 7th.
And I'll see you tomorrow with Dragon Den's Peter Jones. See you then. Lovely,
Beautiful.
Claire.
Good night.